Hello, this is Colleen Shoemaker with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching the video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We are here today to talk with candidates running in the November 5th, 2024 general election. We are grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me is Rachel Phillips, running for Multnomah County Circuit Judge Position 38. Welcome, Ms. Phillips.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Thanks for having me.
Will you please tell us a little about yourself and why you're running for this office?
Certainly. My name is Rachel Phillips, and I went to law school as an older student. I was 36 when I went to law school. I'm originally from New Orleans. And in my 30s, I took care of my mother when she was diagnosed with cancer. And after she passed, my older siblings challenged her will. And we wound up in this 3-year, very contentious, very emotional civil suit that impacted me so much. And I felt so helpless that I went to law school because I didn't want anyone else to feel as helpless in court and overwhelmed as I did. And so that's why I went to law school. I've been practicing as a criminal defense attorney for 18 years, and I started out as a public defender. I worked at Metropolitan Public Defender for 8.5 years and went into private practice in 2014. And since then, especially the last 2 to 3 years, I've done more victim representation in addition to defending criminal defendants. And it's because of that it's made me want to run for judge to make more of a difference and help more people involved in the system.
If elected, what do you hope to achieve if you're successful?
I would hope to be fair and to bring my perspective such that treat everyone in front of me equally, fairly, and also primarily I'd like to be a good settlement judge. As you know, we have a crisis in Oregon with the unrepresented individuals. And in fact, I believe the total today, I double checked, is 5,284 unrepresented individuals across the state of Oregon. And that's a problem. So I would use my position to help with that crisis.
What are your ideas for refining the administration of justice in Multnomah County, including possible changes to state law?
Well, obviously, judges have to follow the law, and the legislature deals with enacting any changes. But in terms of what I can tell you I have done as a defense attorney and as a victims' rights attorney is I have pushed back and advocated for Brady violation reform to that law. I worked on a 3-year project with Eliza Kaplan at Lewis and Clark Law School and 2 law students where we did a survey of all 36 counties and help get Brady and discovery process across the state be more consistent, and to actually have real penalties for Brady violations. At this point, for example, say I've had so many cases where a district attorney or a prosecutor turns over discovery late, and what happens is the whole trial gets set over. And that's not helpful for the defense, and it's also not helpful for crime victims, because the longer a case is delayed, the longer it takes for them to get justice and to be made whole again. So that's one. In Multnomah County, we don't have an issue with civil compromises, but I would certainly try to help advocate across the state for more consistent policy from prosecutors' offices with regards to civil compromises. A civil compromise is the only law we have in Oregon where a crime victim is in complete control about how they want the case to come out. That's only for certain C felonies and misdemeanors, but it is there, and it's there for the citizens of Oregon to use. And there are a number of jurisdictions where prosecutors oppose what crime victims want and oppose civil compromises. So that. So those things, and more remote access so that people don't have to potentially lose their jobs just to show up for a status check on court hearings.
You are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast of Rachel Phillips, who's running for Multnomah County Circuit Judge Position 38. I think you've already touched on this, but what, if any, criminal sentencing reforms would you support?
I can tell you in the past, I have absolutely advocated for ending ballot measure 11. We do have a sentencing guideline here in Oregon, and it is very effective and it's adequate. But because of ballot measure 11, prosecutors are the ones that have the final say on how those cases resolve. If a case is going to resolve out of measure 11, it can only do so if the DA agrees to it. And so that I absolutely support.
And what, if any, changes in the Oregon jury system do you think should be considered?
I think our jury system is a really good one. So I don't really think I would follow guidance of other judges, but at this point, I support our jury system the way it is. I do think it works.
Do you have a preference in assignment within the court if elected? If so, what would it be and why?
I would actually like to be a settlement judge. There are some settlement judges from Multnomah County that are retired but still do settlement. Judge Eric Bergstrom, Judge Jean Maurer, and both of those judges were very effective at settling cases. And I would want to help settle Measure 11 cases because, quite frankly, that will help reduce our backlog with our over 5,000 unrepresented individuals across the state. So that would be my preference.
We have about a half a minute left. Do you want to talk about why that role is important to you, or do you want to very quickly answer another question? Why would you choose?
Sorry. I think settlement is really important because of our current crisis. Quite frankly, prosecutors hold the key here because they're the ones that can settle a lot of cases, which would free up public defenders to take on more cases, reducing the number of people without attorneys.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you, Ms. Phillips. And this concludes our Video Voters Guide and podcast interview of the League of Women Voters of Portland of Rachel Phillips, running for Multnomah County Circuit Judge, Position 38. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. To find additional election resources, please visit the League of Women Voters of Portland website, lwvpdx.org, and then exercise your right to vote. Your voice matters. Thank you for your interest.